to love others, you must love yourself first.
Yeah.
To respect others, you must respect yourself first. Yeah. And then from there you can spread. It's so simple. And yet it seems to be the hardest thing we seem to be able to do. And even though I come from a warrior race, a warrior also carries love and aroha and manaki. And so, I'm not on the battlefield, but I can still be a warrior and continue forward spreading love.
We are modern warriors, but a warrior needs to be anchored in him or herself and knowing who he or she is.
I always say, the more you are, who are you? I know who I am. And I believe I'm the first to stand on European land, take away the man-made borders, just one land, many tribes. But to stand on your land, whichever country I'm in, and acknowledge the people there as tangata whenua, as people of that land, as indigenous to that land. That's my way of showing respect to the land and the ancestors of that land and the people of that country. If we went back far enough in time, we'd be pretty much one people, many different cultures. Because I was raised in our old traditional ways, I actually carry our old with me from my grandmother and my 6 elders who raised me from birth. And so, it's our role and our responsibility, whichever indigenous race, to share our knowledge with you, not teach, because that creates levels, but sharing is the same level. Haka. Again, as you know, I make it a tribal experience where everybody is sharing their pain or their joy together as a tribe.
One of the main, most impressive experiences during your workshops, that the group easily is formed like one being. You can dive in your workshops. So this reconnection with yourself and become part of a group in a respectful and protective frame.
Yes. I learned Haka from a very early age, of course, because it was just part of my upbringing and it's part of our traditions. You may see videos today of little children joining the adults and performing the Haka with them. That's how we learned from the start as little children to get used to it. And then as we became older from 12 years onwards, or even earlier sometimes, then we started training in Haka. We didn't just perform Haka for the sake of performing Haka. It's something that's very sacred to us. And that's the reason I've finally agreed to present my workshops over here, to teach properly and to demand perfection. And I get it.
Yeah, and easy. But what is your main purpose bringing a Haka or propose Haka to us, the Western Europeans, who maybe somehow have lost a little bit the connection with their own roots or a known identity?
Well, if I can go back to the start of my journey here in Europe, I was asked by a man, would I teach him Haka? And my answer to him was, that's mine, please don't take it. But I kept getting asked and asked, and I was getting annoyed with Haka being performed for any reason, especially on social media. So I said to my friend, I don't believe your ancestors didn't have ritual or ceremony or even dance before they went into battle. And so I don't teach Haka out of New Zealand or Aotearoa because they're sacred to me. What I do is compose my own Haka, and that releases my restrictions culturally. And that enables me to teach Haka and to teach it properly. And by demanding perfection, that shows respect to something that's sacred to my people. But with my concept, whichever country I'm in, I have it translated into their language, their native language, and then I teach it in their language. And of course, from there, I demand higher than perfection. And I get it. Because then they're showing respect to their ancestors, their land, and themselves. But as I say to them, don't call it Haka because it isn't, but to find a word that has the same power as it. The Haka we do is what we call Haka Taparahi, which is a self-motivational Haka for inner strength, and it's done with love and power, of course. It's as simple as that, because once we become one again, well, then we can move forward, as you said, united and in peace together. So it makes me happy that I'm actually presenting something that people will remember.
Thank you, thank you. And it was and is a great honor to me that I can organize your workshops.